Hello my friends, and welcome to our next camping adventure. Cheers to you folks. Well, today is definitely a warm day, that's for sure my friends, but I'm still excited to get down to that campground. So everybody out there, y'all buckle up and we'll get Red going here in a second. Let's get headed to that campground. Appreciate y'all coming along. Y'all take care, and I'll see you when we get there. Let's go. Ooh, there's a pontoon boat blocking her. Well, we can get around it. Let's go. Not much room. It's on that side. All right, my friends, we got Red parked. He's all situated. I checked the picnic table. I'm not going to move it. It's pretty level where it's at. And we have a kind of a tiny site, really. But it's not bad. It does have a big opening in the back. It looks like there might be a trail or something cutting through there. I have no idea. But, oh my gosh, it feels so much nicer here. Well, my friends, I appreciate you hanging in there. So let's grab a couple things out of Red and have a seat. Watch it. I've had that joker in my shin more times than I care. Ooh, nice and cold. Cheers to you, my friends. We made it down here. We do have a pretty peaceful little campsite here, but I'll be honest, the breeze has quit, and we're really starting to feel the humidity right now. Holy catfish. But in all, it's pretty peaceful where we're at. And it looks like, you can definitely see where we've had rain. Everything's a little bit damp. That's probably not helping our humidity situation by any means. But it's not horrible. I mean, it's definitely tolerable. Just make sure we keep hydrated today. So we should be okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, for dinner tonight, I'm planning on making, I guess it's a Spam version of a BLT. We're gonna use pork rinds as a breading and deep fry that joker, so it should be pretty good. Oh, and we have some traffic coming through here. There are other campers back here, by the way, but so far they've been pretty peaceful and friendly. But my friends, I think I'm just gonna kick back and relax for a while. We'll get some things set up in Red in a bit. We're definitely gonna get them windows open, and let's hope that breeze comes back, that's for sure. So in the meantime, here's to you, my friends. Y'all take care, and we'll catch up in a little bit. Oh, it's warm, my friends. So let's see about getting our dinner prepped before I get the stove all fired up. I think we're relatively organized here. So what I have here is the Great Value version of Spam, bacon flavored. So let's see if we can get this sliced up. Now, my plan to do is get all this prepped, and this we're going to put back in the cooler. I have a little container for that because Spam gets fragile when it gets warm. So let's see if we can hopefully get this out of the can without too much ado. Because I actually had this in the cooler. So let's see how this works. Oh, son of a gun. That's a rarity. All right, now we're going to slice this into, oh, let me give me a paper towel here. We're going to slice it into 4 slices. So we're just going to leave it right on its edge and get 4 even slices out of it. So give me a second here. It's kind of marked the center so I know where to start my first cut. There. Yeah, it's cold. There's one. I didn't do a very good job, but it'll all cook. Two. They're relatively even. All right, let me wipe my hands off here. Set that to the side. And now for the breading. So what I have here is about half a bag of just original pork rinds. What I like about this is, I mean, if you have a preferred flavor of pork rind that you would like to use, you know, it just enhance things, I suppose. We'll start with that much. And I brought my pork rind smasher. So give me a few minutes to get this all crushed up, my friends. I think we got that pretty well dusty. Let me go ahead and get this back in the cooler. If I can get the lid to go on. I'll bring the wrong lid. There it goes. Boy, it's a tight fit. All right, that's good to go. All right, my friends, I'm going to straighten up here just a little bit, then we'll move over to the stove and get that oil hot. Looks pretty good. All right, my friends, I'm going to start heating up our oil here. We're going to shoot for about temperature about 325. And actually, the first thing we're going to cook are some onion rings that go with that joker tonight. All right, my friends, we'll be back as soon as the oil's hot. All right, my friends, we hit 325. I turned the heat back a little bit so it wouldn't jump too much higher than that. And we'll get our onion rings going. And these are only going to take probably about 3 minutes to cook. I'm part. I just got 2 left. There we go. Oh, I'm going to grab another pan too, because when we get the Spam cooking, I'm going to toast up the buns. Okay, the onion rings are done, my friends. I knew I brought this for a reason. Okay. I'm going to set these to the side for a second. While we get our little station ready here. Let's check something here real quick. Don't get on there. Let that fork cool off for a second, because we need to scramble up an egg. Oh yeah, we're good. Turn that back down a little bit. I don't want to get too hot. All right. Got our egg here. We need a little bit of an egg wash. Pretty good. And I transferred our pork rinds to another little container. And just a little bit of, I just have a little bit of flour in this joker. Now I'll grab the Spam out of the cooler. I always wait last minute on that joker. And I'm only going to cook up 2 of them because I'm only going to eat 2 sandwiches. So this is how I prepare it. I just dip it in a little bit of flour, excess off there, into the egg wash real quick, and then into our little breading stuff here. And sometimes you got to kind of smash it in there. There we go. Our other one here. Something jumping around in the trees. And you got to be gentle with this stuff. It will break apart on you like you wouldn't believe. I think I need just a little bit more of that breading. Hold on, folks. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't dump the whole thing in there. There we go. That's better. Move some stuff out of the way. I am disorganized. No way around it. Yep, we'll turn it down just a little bit more. And these are only going to take about 3 minutes a piece to cook. But as I said before, you want to be gentle with them. I don't use tongs because there's been times I've used tongs to do that and had one hit the floor because it just breaks apart. So here in about a total of 6 minutes, we'll be ready to do something. Oh, in the meantime, I'm going to get that bread toasted up. All right, my friends, I've had to let these jokers sit for a minute because when they first come out of that oil, they are crazy hot in the middle. So I've had them sitting here while I've got everything else set up. So let's get into dinner. This is the coolest one of the two. And I use these little tiny hamburger buns because, well, you can see roughly how well they fit, and they fit pretty well. That right there. And I brought some lettuce and tomatoes. Now what I do to transport these, I actually threw a couple of ice cubes in this little container to keep them nice and crisp. Or so I hope. Come on, you buddy. There we go. And some mayo. I'm not going to be stingy with it. Makes a tall sandwich. Oh my goodness. It is actually starting to cool down a little bit, but hey, it's hard to tell, that's for sure. Oh, let's get some of these onion rings over here. They've cooled off nicely now. I brought some ketchup for that. I like ketchup on my onion rings. That'll do. Oh, if I may have forgot to mention earlier, but and I apologize if I did, but the Spam that we are using is the bacon flavored. So hopefully this has cooled down enough that we don't have an issue, but let's find out. And it's actually pretty crispy. Oh my gosh, that lettuce and tomato on there, that is a fantastic sandwich, my friends. Cheers. Oh my gosh. I like the way it, I like the way it crisps up like that. So it's, I mean, when you bite into it, it's like biting into a crispy BLT. See how our onion rings did. They're just generic frozen onion rings. Still pretty good. Well, my friends, I appreciate, just, that's if you can see that, that's our sandwich. Oh, well, my friends, I do appreciate you hanging in there this far. So I'm starving and we don't have all that much daylight left. Our days are getting shorter. So I'm going to tear into dinner here. And then, yeah, we'll definitely get that campfire going here directly because it's supposed to get down to, I think, close to 65 tonight. So that's going to feel so nice after the day. Fantastic. he go? He's right over our heads, my friends. Heard something jumping around. Try not to trip. He's got me spinning. Where'd he go? I lost him. Oh, there he is. Agile little devils. Oh, there he goes. All right, my friends, let's get our campfire going. Whoops. We'll start with that. You can tell it's a little warm, but still, I want a campfire. Oh my gosh, I spent a few minutes chasing a squirrel around in the trees. I think I got some footage of that, so you may have already seen that. We'll talk about that more in a second. Get over there. We have ignition. All right, my friends, I'm going to get this going pretty good, and I'll get me another water, so we'll catch up by the fire here directly. Ooh, the catfish. Oh my goodness. Had to get me another water, my friends. Oh, I had to fight with this thing too. I wonder if it has to do with the humidity, how these things just don't want to take off. No problems in the fall. Cheers. The sun has gotten fairly low, and the temperatures are dropping. I can tell you that. I can tell. But oh, my friends, that dinner turned out great. Oh my gosh. And I'll admit, there's a little bit more effort to it than just when you typically just fry Spam. But it's worth the effort. But a big tip is that when you crush up the pork rinds, that you get them as fine as possible. It really helps. And they stick to it a lot better too. But it's pretty tasty and it's crunchy, and oh my God, it's pretty much like eating a BLT. I'll tell you what. I guess it's cheap too, so it's kind of like the poor man's BLT, I suppose, lack of a better term. But oh my gosh, this has been a really nice trip. I mean, it's been hot, that's for sure. Now I'm sweating, but you know, when I'm sitting still, I don't do too bad. But you know, in this kind of humidity, when you get up and start moving around, it changes quick. And oh, sorry. And that squirrel we saw earlier, it was actually there's actually like 3 or 4 of them. Once I put the camera down and started doing something else, I looked up and there was about 3 or 4 of them. They're over that way a good ways. I couldn't get that on film, unfortunately, but yeah, there's a bunch of them. That's pretty neat. I haven't seen a raccoon yet, but I would not be surprised. I mean, we're pretty wooded here. Holy catfish. Well, my friends, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate y'all coming along on my little camping adventures. I truly do. This was a pretty good one. And it was, other than last week, it was a complete one. Oh, shoot, I probably shouldn't have said that. So hopefully we'll see you in the morning. But anyway, my friends, I think I'm going to, well, I'm going to throw another log on this fire here and just let, the night take hold, and then we'll hop up and red. And tonight, if I didn't mention earlier, which I probably did, it's going to get down to about 65 tonight. So, man, that's going to be nice. But as soon as the sun starts creeping up, it's going to go from 65 to 72 in a matter of 30 minutes, I think. Oh, my goodness. But that's perfectly fine. Well, my friends, again, appreciate y'all coming along. Y'all take care, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, campers. Cheers to you, my friends. Oh, and this is a really nice morning. Temperature-wise, it's a little hazy, but that's perfectly fine. Temperature-wise right now, it just feels great compared to the humidity we had last night. That's for sure. Holy cow. Oh, and last night was great too. I mean, once the sun got good and fully set, the temperature started dropping. And man, it was comfortable in the back of red last night. That's for sure. Wow. Oh, and earlier, when I was first getting up, we had a couple of squirrels dancing around in the trees again, looking for their breakfast. But I think they've moved off now. I haven't heard them in a bit. But, oh, speaking of food, that Spam version of a BLT, man, that came out so good. And granted, it's a little bit more effort than just frying up Spam and eating it like typical Spam dinner, Spam and potatoes or something like that. But holy catfish, that was a fantastic sandwich, let me tell you, my friends. But in all, this has been a really nice trip. It's been pretty peaceful back here in the campground. We had a few people and some bike riders go by here and there throughout the day. A couple of vehicles drive by. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet. I really haven't heard other campers. I know they're close, but I haven't really heard them. So that's pretty nice. Oh. Well, my friends, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you all coming along on my little camping adventures. I truly do. This was a pretty nice one. But unfortunately, we're going to have to get red packed up here and head back to the city soon. But I'm in no rush. So I'm going to kick back here, enjoy this coffee this morning and these nice temperatures. before that all changes in about 2 hours. So again, my friends, appreciate y'all coming along. Y'all take care. And as always, I'll see you soon.